Okay, so we're going to look at parallel and perpendicular slopes, and we're going to be writing equations to match parallel or perpendicular slopes depending on what is given. Okay, and the first thing we need to know is what parallel and perpendicular slopes. So parallel slopes right here, and I'm just putting little notes in this box on the table. Parallel slopes means that they are lines that never touch, right? They're parallel. They just keep on going and they will never touch. When you have parallel slopes, that means that they have the same slope. Okay. On the other hand, perpendicular slopes, these lines will cross, and not only will they cross, but they will cross at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little box in here to show me that this is 90 degrees. Okay, perpendicular slopes, what is important about this is that it is the negative reciprocal. So this is the negative reciprocal. So P. Okay. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so for parallel slopes, if my slope that is given is 4, that means that the parallel slope for this is also going to be 4. My perpendicular slope is going to be the negative reciprocal. So first I'm going to make it negative, and then reciprocal means that when I multiply it, it will equal 1. So if I have 4, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it, and it's going to be 1 over 4. Right? Because this would have been a 4 over 1. So I just flipped it. Okay. The next one, if I have a slope of negative 3/4, my parallel slope will also be negative 3/4. My perpendicular slope will be the negative, the opposite. So since it was already a negative, I'm now making it positive. And I'm going to flip it. It's going to be 4/3, right? So this one was negative. Now this one is positive. This one was positive. Now this one was negative, or is negative, okay? Last one, if I have a slope of 1/5, my parallel slope would be 1/5. My perpendicular slope will be the negative, or the opposite, so now it's negative, and I'm going to flip it. So instead of 1 over 5, I'm going to put 5 over 1, which simplifies to just negative 5, okay? Right, so first example, write the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 1/2 x minus 5 and passes through the point 410. Okay, so the two things we need, remember, we've done this before. We need the slope and we need the point. The point is given to us, 410, right? The slope, since it's parallel, that means I'm going to have the same slope. It's going to be 1/2. All right, this x right here, not part of the slope. A lot of you guys put that on your test. Okay, so I'm going to use my formula, y equals mx plus b, right? And I'm going to substitute in, instead of m, right? Here, I'll underline it. Instead of m, I'm going to plug it in with 1/2. So rewrite everything again. Y equals, and instead of m, I write 1/2. I've got x plus b. Now I plug in my points. So here are my points, 410. Right, here is my x, here is my y. I'm plugging that in. 10 equals, I've got my 1/2. Instead of x, I'm plugging in 4 plus b, right? And now I have to solve for b, so I'm solving everything through, okay? 1/2 times 4 is going to be 4 over 2, which equals 2, right? I'll do that right there. 1/2 times 4 over 1 equals 4 over 2 equals 2, right? I'm bringing everything down. 10 plus b. Now I subtract 2 from each side, and I will get b is equal to 8. This cancels out, all right? So my equation is now going to be y equals my slope, 1/2 x, plus my y-intercept, which was 8, and that is going to be my equation, okay? Second problem, write the equation of a line. So there's only two options, right? It's either going to be parallel or perpendicular. This one is going to be perpendicular. So write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals 1/2 x minus 5, passing through the point 410. So same problem, except we have a different slope, and we're now finding the perpendicular slope, okay? So now my slope, if I want the negative reciprocal, that means it's going to be negative, right? Because it's the opposite. So here is my slope of 4. And then I'm going to flip it. So instead of 1 over 2, it's now going to be 2 over 1, which is simplifies to negative 2. I need you guys to be simplifying. Okay, and then I still have the 0.410. When I do this, I'm going to use my formula y equals mx plus b. Plugging it in, I have my slope, I have my points, my x and my y. So I'm going to plug this all in at once. Y is 10 equals, my slope is 2, or negative 2, I'm sorry. My x is 4, and plus b. So now I solve. On the right hand side, I've got negative 2 times 4. This will give me a negative 8. Bring down the b, bring down the 10. To get rid of this negative 8, I need to add 8 to both sides. This makes 0, and I'm left with b equals 18. So this equation is going to be y equals my slope, which is negative 2, x plus 18. Okay. So they're the perpendicular slopes. These lines will cross at a right angle. Okay. So you guys are going to try these next ones on your own. Write the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals 2/3 x plus 5 and passes through the point 3, 2. So we're looking at this. We want parallel. So if my equation was y equals 2/3 x plus 5, you want to have a parallel slope. This parallel slope is going to be 2/3. My point is 3, 2, and I'm plugging it in. Here is my slope. Here is my points. And I'm plugging it to my equation. Y equals 2/3 x plus b. Instead of x and y, I'm substituting in 3 and 2. So when I multiply these over here, I'm going to put 2/3 times 3 over 1. I can simplify these. We learned this, right? So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And this will give me 2 over 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And this simplifies to just 2. Okay. So bringing it down equals. This will give me 2 plus b equals 2. I need to subtract 2 from each side because this was a positive 2. I want to get rid of it by subtracting 2. 2 minus 2 on this side also equals 0. So that means b equals 0. This means it goes through the origin. It goes through 0, 0. Okay. So for this one, my equation is going to be y equals my slope, which is 2/3. I've got x plus 0, and I'm just going to leave that off because you don't need to write that. Okay. Last one, write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to negative 3/4 x plus 1 passing through the point 4, 2. I want perpendicular, so my point right here, or my slope, is going to be the negative reciprocal. That means it's the opposite, and I'm going to flip it. So instead of negative, it's going to be now positive, and I'm going to flip it to 4/3, and I have my point negative 4, 2. This other part right here, this plus 1, that doesn't matter to us, right? We're just looking at the slope. It gives us our own y-intercept that we need to figure out. Okay. So rewriting it, I've got y equals 4/3 x plus b. I'm going to substitute it in. So instead of x, I'm going to write my x value, which is negative 4. Instead of y, I'm going to write 2. Right? So multiplying this on the side, I've got 4/3 times negative 4. And I'm going to put this over 1. This I cannot simplify, so I'm just going to multiply straight across. I've got 4 times negative 4, which is negative 16, over 3 times 1, which is 3. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to bring it down. Negative 16/3 plus b equals 2. I need to add 16/3 to both sides just to get rid of it on this side, right? And this will give me b. And on this side, I have 2 plus the 16/3. Now you can go ahead and use your calculator for this. Or if you wanted to change it into a mixed number, I have 16 thirds, right? And this can go in 5 times, right? 5 times 3 is 15, and I will have 1 left over. So 5 1/3. When I add those together, 2 plus 5 1/3 will give me 7 1/3. That's my B, right? Again, if you used your calculator, here, let's use our calculator when we do this. Calculator. I'm first going to take 16 divided by 3, and I add that to 2. And if you wanted to give me 7.3333 or with a bar over it, that would be cool. I'll take that, okay? My equation for this is going to be y equals 4 thirds, using that slope, x plus 7 1/3, or I would take y equals 4 thirds, x plus 7.3, and it keeps going, or you can put the ellipses, dot, dot, dot. Okay, I will take either one of these answers.